you guys in the right state of mind? Let's go.
The Afghanistan withdrawal wasn't just a disaster. It was a humiliation, a failure at every level, a betrayal of the men and women who fought and died over 20 years. 13 American service members were killed, billions in U.S. military hardware abandoned, and our allies left behind to be tortured and executed by the Taliban. And Biden, Mark Milley, Lloyd Austin, they just walked away. No accountability, no resignations, nothing. But now Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is doing what should have been done from day one, launching a full-scale investigation into who's responsible. The question that needs to be asked is, was this just incompetence or was this by design? I want to be clear. This wasn't a normal withdrawal. This was a retreat, a surrender, the kind of withdrawal you see when an army gets routed off the battlefield. This wasn't a military operation. This was a political decision, and it got Americans killed. Now, I want to talk about what was left behind. Over $7 billion in U.S. military hardware, Humvees, Black Hawk helicopters, drones, rifles, even biometric scanners with the names of the Afghans who worked with the United States. The Taliban just didn't win the war. We armed them, and we turned them into one of the best equipped terrorist forces on the planet. And so what happened? The Taliban took over immediately. The same people who harbored al-Qaeda, the same terrorists we fought for over 20 years. Now they're running Afghanistan, executing our allies, enforcing Sharia law, and giving ISIS and al-Qaeda a new home base to plan attacks against the West. So here's where it gets interesting. Pete Hegseth, who's a real combat veteran and actually understands how military operations work, and somebody I've got respect for. I've hit with him numerous times over the years when he was at Fox News. Hegseth is putting together a team inside the Pentagon underneath him to investigate this disaster. Let me tell you something. This isn't just a formality. This one here is a hunt for the truth. Hegseth is passionate about the U.S. military, and his investigation is going to answer one major question. Was this incompetence or was this deliberate? Here's what no one in Washington, D.C. wants to admit. There are people who may have wanted this withdrawal to fail. Think about it. The Biden administration was warned about how quickly the Taliban would take over. The Pentagon had intel showing that Kabul could collapse within weeks. The military knew that if we didn't secure Bagram Air Base, we'd be evacuating from a city under siege. And they did it anyways. Why? So let me put this another way. Imagine if this had happened under Trump. Imagine if he had abandoned Americans behind enemy lines. If he'd left billions in U.S. weapons to terrorists. If 13 service members had been blown up at Abbey Gate. The media would have crucified him. And Democrats would have demanded his impeachment. But Biden got a pass. And that's not okay with me. They memory hold Afghanistan before the last plane ever left. This episode of the Aaron Cohen Show is brought to you by Merkava Coffee. This is the official coffee of the Aaron Cohen Show. When I served in the IDF, coffee wasn't just coffee, it was fuel. And in the special operations world, there were nights with no sleep, missions that stretched for days, and no room for mistakes. Coffee was serious, and it kept us sharp, locked in, and ready to move. And let me tell you something, I still take it seriously. And that's why Merkava Coffee, strong, no nonsense, battle-tested, no fluff, no gimmicks, just good, bold coffee for the people who need to be at their best. And if you start your day like I do, like it's a mission, you know why this matters. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a triple order and help keep the lights on and support the Aaron Cohen Show. Appreciate you guys. So now I want to talk about who we need to hold accountable. Let's break down the 4 people who need to answer for this. First, I want to start with Biden, the commander-in-chief. This failure belongs to him, period. He ignored the intel. He ignored the warnings. He pulled out without a plan, got Americans killed, and then blamed everybody else. And that's what cowards do. Now I want to talk about General Milley, the woke warrior. I did an episode on him. It's coming up on 1 million views. You want to check that one out. Milley was more focused on diversity training and white rage and actually leading a military. You saw this disaster unfolding and he did nothing. He's directly responsible for the deaths of those 13 service members, in my opinion. Now I want to talk about Lloyd Austin, the absent Secretary of Defense. Where was this guy? Did he even try to stop it? Or did he just let it happen? If a Secretary of Defense can't prevent a military disaster, then what's he even doing at the job? And then there's Tony Blinken. Anthony, the weakest Secretary of State in the history of the United States. This man oversaw the worst abandonment of American allies since Vietnam. That's where I come out with that. He knew Americans and Afghan allies were going to be hunted down and executed, and he left them behind anyways. And these 4 people need to be held accountable. The question is, will they? So for 2 years, Gold Star families have been begging for answers. They've been ignored, stonewalled, disrespected by Biden's administration. Biden wouldn't even say their kids' names. And here's the reality. Afghanistan didn't just disappear. This withdrawal changed the world. And it emboldened Russia, in my opinion, to invade the Ukraine. Yeah, I just said it. That's what I think happened. It sent a signal to China that we're too weak to defend Taiwan. It told Iran and Hamas and America doesn't have the stomach to fight back. And so we paid the price. And in my opinion, Afghanistan was a test and Biden failed. Because of that failure, America's weaker, our enemies are stronger, and 13 American heroes are now dead. And the Taliban wasn't afraid of Biden. Russia isn't afraid of Biden. China wasn't afraid of Biden. Iran wasn't afraid of Biden. In fact, Biden was giving Iran billions of dollars. The only people afraid of Biden are the families of the 13 heroes he got killed at Abbey Gate. This one's a tough one. I want to make sure I got this one right. Do me a favor, drop a comment down below. Tell me, who do you think should be held responsible? Like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be covering new developments into this investigation as it unfolds until we get answers. So I'm going to come back to this one. If you guys are a fan of the show, do me a favor and help support us by grabbing a triple bag order of some Merkava coffee. Merkava coffee is the official coffee of the Aaron Cohen Show. I started the brand to honor the bravery of those who fought for the last 16 months in Gaza. And in the IDF, we had a saying, coffee first, then war. Because before every mission, you'd pour a strong cup. Kos chazak. And then locked in. It was about mindset and mission. And that's what Merkava coffee is all about. And every bag we sell helps keep the show running, helps keep the lights on in the studio. So if you want to fuel up like an IDF soldier, hit the link down below and grab a triple bag order today. I want to thank you guys for watching this one. I appreciate your support. I'm Aaron Cohen. You're watching the Aaron Cohen Show, and I'll catch you soon on the next one.